What's up, everybody? Welcome to the Loud Spot. I'm your host, Sebastian, right out of Oklahoma City. I got my co-host, Ava Gore, here with me tonight. We also got Natalie Miranda. Before we start this episode, I do want to remind everyone to please subscribe to our YouTube channel. Check us out on Apple, Spotify, iHeartRadio, and all your podcasting platforms that you may have. And let's get this party started.
Oh, no! Oh, boy! Here it comes! The motherfucking Loud Spot!
All right. It's good to have Ava on the show with us tonight. And Natalie, you know what? I reached out to you on TikTok, right?
Yeah.
Which I do to some artists, and you actually responded.
Of
And
course.
I don't even know if you knew who we were, what we did, but we were friends on there. And I was like, I got to ask her this question. And here you are with. So tell us a little bit about your background in music and how you started off as an artist.
Sure. So my parents love music, so I grew up with amazing records being played in the house. You know, from Whitney to Madonna, lots of Greek music because I'm Greek Cypriot. Born in London, though, and I started to play the piano from the age of 5.
Wow.
And I loved the piano. But secretly, I loved to sing, and I never told anybody. I was really, really shy. My parents didn't even know, to be honest.
Really?
Yeah, they didn't know. Like I used to sing in my room and turn up my radio like really loud so no one could hear me singing. And yeah, I've been writing songs since I was really young as well, since about 9 years old, and just kind of. I was a little bit kind of aimless for many years. I didn't really know where I was headed or what my style would be or what my sound would be. And everything happened a little bit late for me, to be honest.
So you decided not to do heavy metal, huh?
Yeah. Yeah. No, I'm much more inspired. I actually don't mind a bit of heavy metal every now and then, but not to sing it. But I was much more inspired by bands like Freddie Mercury is my idol. So bands like Queen, 80s artists specifically like Whitney and Madonna, and older than that in forms of Aretha, Etta James. Just loads of different influences, but definitely in the soul and kind of sort of blues, sort of maybe soft rock vibes, I'd say.
Okay, cool. You're probably similar to that, huh?
Sure.
No.
I was gonna say it is interesting though that you say that things happen a little late for you, because most people, don't start playing at 5 and don't start writing songs at 9. So in a way, things started early, but
she was just shy about it then, maybe, huh? You didn't want to put it out there.
I'm just saying it's interesting that.
Yeah, I probably should rephrase it. I mean, I started learning an instrument very young, but in terms of singing, I didn't actually sing in public until I was 15, and just like karaoke, But even then, it took me, I would say, into my early 30s to really, really find what I wanted to do and my sound, and to stop wanting to sound like other people and to just accept what I am and what my style is like. So yeah, that's what I mean.
You have a very, like, your voice when you sing does not sound like how you talk.
No, it's completely different.
Yeah. Did you develop that over time? Was that kind of just naturally just the way you sounded?
It turned out that is how I sound, but it took me a long time to find it, because I never really had singing, like vocal lessons or anything, till I was sort of 17 or 18. And even then it wasn't with the right teacher. I didn't really meet that teacher till I was in my early 20s. So
wow.
I was singing from the wrong place, and I wasn't using my chest voice. What came out was like this really kind of pretty sound, and it never kind of felt me. I always felt like there was something more that I had to give, and then I discovered it, and then it took me X amount of time to develop it and stuff like that. But a lot of people ask me, are you putting it on? I'm like, why would I put it on? That is how I sing. So yeah.
I wish I knew how to sing. I mean, literally, Ava. I wish I found my voice. Ava, actually, if anyone who's watched this, can go back on YouTube, and there's actually a video of Ava trying to give me singing lessons,
Oh,
and it is horrible, like horrible. But
I think,
I wish I could sing. I have lots of things to say. So in your music, I was listening to "Is This Love." I've been listening to it the last few days, just kind of getting a feeling for the song and for you in the song. Do you write the music also in the song?
I write the melodies in the lyrics, and then
Okay.
my co-writer and producer creates the track around it.
Okay, so do you come up with the song first, or do you come up with the music? Does the music happen then the song, or do the lyrics come first and he writes around that?
It's nearly always me that starts off with the melody and the lyrics. Yeah. And I'm like, hey, I've got this thing, and then we sit down and kind of work it out. So
I always find that interesting, like everyone's different answer for that question, because like
Yeah.
I personally need music first. I can't like write lyrics and then like form a song to it for some reason. So like I think it's really cool when I meet someone that's the opposite. So
yeah.
I think like for me, because I do write lyrics though, and I often need the music to speak to me to create what I want. Not that I'm very creative, but I need the music to speak to me on what I want to say. But I guess some people just have it in them just to be creative and just to write, stuff that's in their mind. That's pretty cool.
Yeah. I mean, as I say, that's how I work mostly. But there are times I do a lot of dance music, like house music, for DJs and producers, and they'll send me a track and be like, put something on this. So I have to work with what they've given me. So it kind of works in both ways. Just depends on what the project is.
But you prefer writing the melody and lyrics first?
Yes. Yeah.
How old were you or how long when did you decide that you wanted to make a career out of this? Like, when did you get serious and start writing music under Nathalie Miranda, the one that we have now on Spotify and YouTube and everywhere?
Yeah. I would say probably about 17 or 18. Like, once I'd overcome that initial kind of fear of singing in public and stuff like that, then I kind of sat down and I would start to really write proper songs, and I went to a local studio, and they would put the music down for me and stuff like that. But I mean, it's definitely evolved since those days. But I think that's was when I was really kind of like, okay, this is what I want to do, and I'm going to go under this name, and which is actually my name. Okay. But I'm going to take my first name and my middle name, and that's going to be my artist name, and this is what I'm going to do. So
when you got on TikTok, because I know you're on TikTok and you have quite a big following on there, right? Did that help you, do you think, boost your listeners? Was that the point of being on TikTok, was for that reason?
Yeah, I mean, I think like everyone, I joined it in 2020, and I didn't really know what it was about, what the deal was with it, or anything. And I did it. I went about it all in the wrong way. I was copying what other people were doing. I was doing dances and all those silly trends and stuff like that.
Things, yeah.
You know what I mean? And that isn't actually me. It's not. I'm not like that. I don't. I would spend ages putting makeup on every day to do these ridiculous videos and things like that. And that's not me. That's not me at all. So at the end of 2020, I deleted that account, and I created a brand new account, which is the one we've got now.
Right.
And I'm just 100% me. There are videos with me not wearing any makeup. I sing what I want. I say what I want. And ultimately, my frame of mind was like, if people sort of get me or like my music or my voice, they will, they'll come, and that's fine. But I can't pretend to be something I'm not. And I think that kind of worked because, I've not gone like viral or anything like that. But I think the people that are there really like my music, and they like my sort of approach to things, and I think that means more to me than I really
respect what you just said.
Thank you.
Personally don't understand TikTok because there are so many people on there doing exactly what you were doing at first, and I don't get it. But thank you for just like being honest about it and saying that like that wasn't me and now I am me. Like most people can't do that. So
Oh, thank you.
You know, on my TikTok, I kind of do a little bit of everything, but that's because that is me. I just like do. You know, and Ava, even like on Instagram, Ava will say, "You got to just have it like, you know, for the loud spot and this," and I'm like, I don't care. She even created a separate Instagram account for the loud spot, and I don't use it. I still just use my other one.
I think with you though, you don't have a filter, so like you can't be anyone but yourself.
Yeah,
that's wanted to be somebody else.
Good or bad, take it or leave it, you know. It is what it is. All right, what inspired Is This Love? And you do such a great act. We're gonna play the music video here in a little bit. You do such a great, like, just acting, and your personality in the video really shows you. What inspired you to write that song?
80s pop music that I grew up with, and in particular, we used as a reference I Want to Dance with Somebody, both visually and sonically. I just love that song, and I love the energy, and I had it all in my head. And so, you know, we got into the studio, this room, and kind of just made that happen with still obviously some modern sounds and more kind of synth sounds, but there are some old sounds in there as well, like samples and stuff like that. But that's what it was. I love the 80s. I'm obsessed with the 80s, and I wish that I was like 20 years older to have lived through them. So like I wanted to just do a tribute to my favorite decade, and the song itself is about sort of having a crush when you're in your teens and you don't know what the other person's thinking, and it's all a bit kind of awkward, and you see that in the video. There's like a really awkward date happening, and things are going wrong, and so I just wanted to do something really fun and upbeat, and it was very different to any songs I've released so far. But people have responded to it really well, so I'm happy about that.
I love the 80s myself. Like when I watch 80s movies, I'm like, you know, and I was really young in the 80s, but it's like it just gives me this feeling of comfort for some reason. You know? It really does.
Yeah, I totally understand. Yeah.
All right, let's check out Is This Love, Nathalie Miranda. Here we go. Let's check it out right now. Here we go.
Is this love? Is this love? I knew you'd be here tonight. I look at you and I'm affected. You got something I like. You're waking up my appetite. I got you on my mind. You fascinate me in a way that I just can't define. And I've been here 100,000 times. Always the same, that's the way it goes. But I gotta know, is this love that I'm feeling? Is this love that I'm feeling tonight that I feel for you? Is this love? Am I dreaming? Woo! Is this love tonight? Oh, when I look in your eyes, I can see my soul reflected, and I realize you're the only one for me. But I gotta know, is it a yes or no? Or maybe I'm losing my mind. You got me waiting on your call. Always the same as the way it goes, But I gotta know, is this love that I'm feeling? Is this love that I'm feeling tonight that I feel for you? Is this love? Am I dreaming? Is this love tonight? 'Cause I've been waiting for you, baby, all my life, and I just can't let this go. 'Cause
Okay, so I got some questions about that video. Like,
Sure.
your facial expressions, like when you're like laying on the bed and you're making those eye movements or whatever, like, did you have to redo that a bunch of times to get the right look? Because it's literally the most perfect look you could have given during that video. It's fucking awesome.
Thank you. No, I mean the shots in the bedroom were really, they didn't take that long at all. Like we did several takes like just to have backup or whatever, but it was literally just me having fun and just enjoying acting and being an 80s girl, you know, and stuff like that. So yeah, it was a lot of fun.
You referenced the 80s with the telephone.
That telephone was my grandma's. And
Really?
yeah. And if you look on my bedside table, there's some 80s items there. There's a My Little Pony mug. There is a Space Invader and a little Freddie Mercury, I've forgotten what they're called, Funko Pop. Obviously, he's not from the 80s, but Freddie Mercury is my idol, so I had to have him in there somewhere. But like, yeah, I tried to reference it as much as I could.
That is, I mean, like the way the acting is, that video, the song and the video go very well together. So whoever made that video and produced it, and did you have a lot of influence in what you wanted to do, or did somebody else come with that idea?
No, the ideas are always mine for the videos. And I knew I wanted to have like a flashback to the date and then kind of, you know, a present after the date kind of scene. But director David Brann is he's the guy that's done all my videos, and he's amazing, and he gets all my visions and he kind of brings them to life, and it's all on like a budget as well, but he's so good at what he does. You know, it's, yeah, I'm very lucky.
For some reason it reminds me of like a modern music video, like Girls Just Want to Have Fun.
Yeah, exactly. That's exactly the vibe. Exactly. Yeah.
Awesome. I love that music video. Both of them.
The guy in that video, is he just an actor, or do you know who that is? Like, is that a friend, boyfriend, or the actor?
He's a very good friend of mine. We've known each other since we were 15, and he is actually an actor, a singer, and a stuntman, which is why he was doing all those crazy things. I mean, he did so many more things, but they didn't make the final cut. Like, he was leaping into that ball pit. He was lifting me up and throwing me in. And, I mean, just like, it was so much fun. Like, watching that back, I was laughing so much because the whole day was laughter. It was almost impossible to just like stop laughing.
Yeah.
But yeah, and he's a very good friend of mine, and that's what made it a lot easier to do it. Yeah.
This is probably a bad idea, but in my head, it's a good idea. Like it was like, oh my God, what's he gonna say? I think if you just made like, 25 versions of that, like on a single cassette, actual tape, and try to sell them to your fans, I think it'd be kind of neat to have something like that, just to go with the flow. Maybe that's a bad idea. I don't know.
No, I would. I mean, I'm very retro. I would love to do that. Cassette, vinyl. I would love to do.
You know that we struggle to sell CDs these days because people don't have anything to play CDs in.
Exactly. I think this is the problem. Yeah.
Or cassette tapes, I guess. Probably even harder. But it'd be more of a novelty item, right? Like CDs are not a novelty item; it's still a thing, right?
Yeah.
But cassettes aren't, like, nobody makes cassettes anymore, so then it becomes novelty, almost like a record player. You know, it'd be like making an 8-track player or like an 8-track that no one's ever gonna play, but just to have it might be kind of cool.
I feel like people would start buying them as like decor.
Yeah.
Well, you could sign them and sell them for a lot more. So you said you did not have a label or a management team, right? But you do, or do you have a team that surrounds you that helps you advertise and push out there?
Only when I release a single. So every time I release a single, there's a PR company here in London that I engage to do a big push for me from the day it comes out, for about sort of 4 weeks, a period of 4 weeks. But otherwise, it's just me every single day doing my thing on social media and, trying to contact blogs and, I don't know, playlists or whatever. It's a 24/7 thing. So, that's the only time that I will engage someone else, when I'm releasing a single.
What would you say the next big thing you are trying to accomplish is?
Do you know, I would really love to have a Natalie Miranda band. I've never had a band for me. It's usually when I go out and gig here in London, I use backing tracks, my backing tracks, or I'll get a friend to play guitar for me or something like that. But it's not the same. My songs, they do work well acoustically, but they are kind of, they need the full band to kind of get the full message across. Yeah,
I think a full band when you're on stage gives more energy to the crowd.
Yeah.
You know, like you can sing with your track, but if a lot of pop artists and hip hop artists will just do their thing, but a lot of times they will have a hired band.
Yeah.
You know, and it just feeds the energy to the crowd a little bit more. I think it does.
Yeah, I would really like that, because I'm quite a kind of, I'm a very energetic performer and quite physical as well, kind of like moving around and doing, you know, my thing. And when it's just me and a guitarist, I look crazy, you know, he's just going like this and I'm going, you know, it's just like, I don't know. I just need that. People need to understand what the full production is and what I'm about. I think the only way to do that is if I had a band, but I'm not in a position to pay musicians all the time for that, unfortunately. But that's what I would love. That was one of my New Year's resolutions.
Have you ever gone on like tour, you know, and toured like multiple areas?
I've never done that, no, just because I don't have anyone to back me. And you know, I can't really go out with backing tracks. I use them as and when I need to, but I love live musicians and live music, and that's what I'm kind of praying for and waiting for.
I'm sure there's someone that you can find that's just passionate about music that you don't have to pay.
Yeah, I mean, I have tried, believe me, and I think I didn't grow up around sort of like-minded people amongst my friends and family and stuff. I was like the odd one out. Like they all wanted to do, you know, go to school, go to university, graduate, get the house and all that kind of stuff. But that wasn't what I wanted to do. And I never went to a stage school or anything like that. So I never had anyone those kind of contacts. And this was before, you know, like the internet and stuff like that. So, you know, it was so much harder back then. So, yeah, I didn't have that luxury. But, you know, I have tried many times, but I don't know, maybe it's not happened yet, but I hope it will.
I think personally, you're true to yourself. You can tell that when I'm speaking to you, you know who you are, you know what you want to accomplish. I wouldn't be surprised if somebody reaches out to you and just wants to help you out on their dime because they believe in what you're doing. You have enough, you know, you have good following on Spotify, your TikTok, your YouTube channel. And speaking to you, you know, you're great. So don't be surprised if somebody comes to you and just wants to pick you up and kind of take you other places. I mean, I think that could happen.
Oh, thank you.
I completely agree.
Thank you.
But you do shows though, right? Like in your just like local areas in your hometown, I guess.
Yeah, I do. So if they're kind of like charity shows or whatever, I'll go out and do them for free locally and stuff like that. There's a lot of showcases in London as well for unsigned artists. And majority of paid shows are still obviously performing covers and stuff like that over here, sadly.
But do you mix your own? Do you mix your own, like one song that's yours in between the covers?
It depends what kind of function it is. Like if it's a wedding or something, then I can't really sort of, bust out "Is This Love" kind of thing.
I think you could. You know why? Because I think but here's the reason why. It sounds familiar enough, right, without ever hearing it before, right? So people are just listening to it now. I don't think anyone's going to disagree that it sounds familiar enough because it does have a certain vibe and certain sound to it. By the end of the song, everyone's probably going to think they know the song anyways and start singing, True. Is this love tonight? Like, I think you're all going to do that.
Yeah.
Oh. Well, maybe I'll try it. But yeah, I mean,
if you try it, you got to video it and send it to me. Okay. Let me know how it works out.
I mean, so yeah, I do a lot of these kind of showcase gigs for unsigned artists around London. But I also do work in function bands and stuff like that because they pay quite well and they're fun to hang out with, the guys in the band or whatever. But it's not really what I want to do long term, and I've actually cut back a lot on it this year. I've sort of said to the guys, I just, get someone else to sing if you want, but I just don't want to do that. I want to just focus on my own stuff. So yeah.
Do you have a plan on how many songs you're going to come out with this year, or how many music videos for the rest of 2022?
I had planned on 3, so I've already released Is This Love.
Right.
There is definitely a Greek song on the way.
A Greek song?
Yes.
What do you mean a Greek song?
A song. So I wrote a song in Greek, basically, because my family is Greek Cypriot, and it's really important to me to I wanted to go back to my roots and just sort of explore that side of me. And I love Greek music as well. I've grown up with Greek music. So I mean, obviously it's quite niche, obviously, for people that speak Greek, but
I'm trying to think of Greek. I remember that movie, My Big Fat Greek Wedding, right?
Yeah.
Isn't there like a lot of clapping and stuff in Greek music? Like
there is, but there's lots of different styles. So the one I chose is a style called varedo, which literally translated means heavy. And what it is, it's when you see people, the Greeks, and they've got their arms up like this.
Yeah.
It's a kind of it's like a sort of mid-tempo. I don't know how I always call it the Greek blues. I think that's the best way to describe it. But it was really important to me to do that, and I've got a great friend who's a Greek producer, so he put the track together for me after I'd written the melody and the lyrics. And
wow.
Yeah, so it's going to be exciting because obviously it's going to be targeted towards Greek-speaking countries, but it means a lot to me to do that. And so that will be coming out. I don't know when, because we're going to finish the mix soon. And then at least 2 other original songs in English, and potentially re-recording my song Catch 22 in Spanish.
Oh, habla español.
Sí.
Un poquito. I should know Spanish, but I fucking don't. But I really should know. My family's Puerto Rican, but I don't.
Oh wow, okay.
Yeah, but I'm American. So I speak English. I wish I knew Spanish, but I don't. I speak but that's also releasing a song in Spanish, a song in Greek.
Yeah.
And then some other English songs.
Yes.
You're just doing all kinds of things.
Yeah.
That's cool.
I just like to keep busy. And I'm also, last year, I think about 7 or 8 dance tracks came out that I'd top-lined throughout the course of 2021. And there's still actually a couple that are yet to come out from last year. And there's more coming this year that I need to record and write on. So that's like a little sideline. And I'm usually faceless. It's usually just like whoever featuring Nathalie Miranda. But from that, I get more writing jobs because of the tracks that go out, which is kind of cool. So it's
yeah, that's awesome.
Thank you.
I think this was a fantastic episode. I love talking with you and Ava.
Oh,
Ava, you always give good input. You always do a fantastic job with me on these episodes. She normally gives me shit. She didn't give me that much shit this time, so
I did a little bit. Just a little.
Did you a little bit?
Yeah, I did.
Anything else you want to say? Anything else, Nathalie, I almost called you Miranda, sorry. Anything else, Nathalie, that you want to say to anyone who's watching this or may hear this episode about yourself?
I don't know. I guess if you like the video that you saw, head over to my website, which is nataliemiranda.com. And if you sign up to my mailing list, you get a free download of that song, completely free. And you also get updates on releases and gigs and stuff like that.
Awesome. Do you have merch?
I don't actually, but I'm thinking about it. Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah, merch is especially when you start doing live concerts, you're definitely gonna want to have some merch.
Yeah.
To bring with you. People love, people kind of feel the hype when you're there and live.
Yeah.
And it's easier to sell merchandise. Well, I wish you the best of luck. I would love to see you touring. I'd love to see you tour the United States.
I would love to do that.
Your music career, as young as it is, I think you have a great looking career ahead of you. So good job, fantastic. Keep it up. Hey, do me a favor, Nathalie, and stay right there after the outro song plays, please. I got a couple questions for you after the show.
Okay.
I do want to thank all of our listeners who listen to The Loud Spot. Once again, please, if you like this episode, Check us out on YouTube, Apple, Spotify, all those good things. We do have a Patreon page as well. Patreon.com/The Loud Spot. $3 a month does help us out and helps us. Well, it just gives us money, so we need money. Okay, give us. I got nothing else. That's all I got. So stay right there. Thanks everyone for listening. Peace out, rock on, and much love. Play.
This is the Loud Spot outro by Nothing Short of Tragic. Is this all talk with no action? No. Is this my thoughts with distraction? No. Is this what I bought that's in fashion? Or is this the Loud Spot with Sebastian? Yes. Does Nothing Short of Tragic have his back again? Yes. Does everything that's good really have to end? Yes. A pin post has a pin show, so to get more episodes, make an order, this is over.
Thanks for watching our video. Don't forget to click the like and share button.
Don't forget to go to our YouTube and subscribe.
If you want to listen to our audio and pick up some cool merch, go to www.theloudspot.net. Peace out, rock on, much love.